Hi. Hi. Nice to see you guys. Just give it a couple minutes for people to join. Um, so this week we have a treat. Laura, who's been joining these meetings, I connected with her yesterday. She wanted, apply to all requests. Laura wanted some help with filling in her boss's Outlook, right? She had a similar problem to what I had where her people were just adding meetings on her boss's Outlook and she wanted a way to fill in all the blanks. So we got together and worked out like a VBA script that would fill in the blanks for her. But when we connected, she showed me she uses Slack, and she showed me this like form she created that was like blew my mind. And it was basically if you want to schedule time with one of her guys or whatever, you have any kind of request from her at all, fill out this form and it's like a ticket. And I don't know, it just blew my mind. It looked amazing. And then it just created like a form for her where she could, I don't know, I don't use Slack, but I was super impressed. So I asked her if she would, yay, Laura's on. I asked her if she would share like the process, what she did, because it was just super, thanks. It was super impressive. Amazon for like $15, by the way, $20, something super cheap. So I got it in like every color. But anyway, I guess we can just wait a minute or so for people to trickle in. And then Laura, I would love it if you would just kind of show us the process. Show
Sure.
us, show us what you showed me yesterday that blew my mind. And I hope you were able to work out that VBA script. How did that work out?
Oh, sorry, Courtney, you cut out there.
How did the script work out yesterday? Were you able um to get it to work?
It did, just not for Tom. So I got to figure that one out.
Hmm, okay. Yeah, it's usually how it works, like half-assed. But
Yep.
if you keep tweaking with it and you keep editing it, you'll get it to work. But thanks again for coming on, and I
Yeah.
will hand it over to you.
Okie dokie. All right. Let me just close out all, as we know, everybody has a million things open. So let's see. So first, I guess I should ask too, does anybody today use Slack? And the question is because so we typically use Microsoft Teams and we've just transitioned to Slack. So right now I have both of them open and bouncing back and forth. So just trying to kind of keep up with everything too. So the other nice thing about Slack is that it has the built-in workflows as well. So I'm just kind of curious to see if anybody has or is using Slack and if it's relevant that I share. Let me just see. Oh, I can see that chat. Here we go. Okay. All right, sweet. So let me go ahead and share.
I see a bunch of heads nodding, so
Okay, cool. So I'm going to share. Let me know when you see my screen, Courtney. Okay, all right. So as I mentioned, we are transitioning, and I'm a big advocate of kind of playing around and self-learning. I've watched different videos. We have some training things too, but obviously the best way is to kind of play yourself and learn. So from my perspective, the challenge that we face today is all the requests that come through from a text message, an email, an IM. My biggest thing is I don't want anything to fall through the cracks. So I found that Slack has this automation, and basically I built myself a workflow. So if people have a request for me, they would put it in. So I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll show you how to do it. So if I go, and then ultimately it ends up in my list. So if I open here, I'm going to pretend to unclick some of these. So these are just going to be my admin requests, right? These are all the completed ones. You can export it. The other really neat thing too is just from like a, um, I guess like a KPI, right? What are you doing on a daily basis? How many requests came in this week? So I can always export this and then run a report on the things I've done, what tasks that I've done, and who it came from. So, for example, this one, you can see who submitted it. Obviously, these are just testing right now, but they can click if it's a priority. Is the request on a meeting? Is the request to book a room? Is the request some miscellaneous requests? So anytime it gets submitted, it comes right here to my open request. So then I can go ahead and click it. Something I'm trying to figure out now, and if anybody knows, is I want eventually this person to know whether that's been completed or not. So that's something I'm still trying to kind of navigate through. But the workflow process, the way I built it out, was over here. So there's a bunch of pre-built workflow templates. So what I did is, this is the one I created, and I'll show you what it looks like. If you go ahead and edit, and I apologize, I can't see the if there's any chat or questions, just ping me and let me know, Courtney. Okay, so the workflow, it starts from a link in Slack. So I can also have this as like my, what's it called? So my drawing a blank, I can't talk today. So I have it right here, like request can be completed here. It's right in my status. So they can just click that and submit a request. So I have it built. We're going back in here. So it's basically kind of like a form, but it's embedded within Slack. So the form looks like this. So what's the request? I have a drop down. Is it meeting? Is it a room? Is it miscellaneous? You can add anything you want, really. What is most likely it's going to be meeting. So who are the meeting attendees? So I'd like them listed in here. So I'm familiar with who I need to add. What's the due date? Is it a priority? Is it not? Does it have to be done in 2 weeks? Or is it okay that I can book this out next month? And then that way I can kind of prioritize through my list as that comes through as well. And then also what the duration is. And again, if you have other questions or depending on what's relevant in your position or internally at your company, you can customize all that as well. So then once they submit, you can add this to add an item to the list. So once that form is submitted by that end user, it's going to go into the list. So I can choose which list that goes into. Obviously, it goes into my admin requests with my name. So that goes into my list, and then I can keep track of it there. I can also add additional steps for workflows too. I can have it set up meeting. I can have it message other people. I can message other users. So I have to play around with it a little bit more, but there's definitely, hopefully I'll be an expert the more I play around with it too. But really cool feature. The other nice thing is I was talking to Courtney about this, like we all want to go on PTO, right? So we have a group of admins that we work with, but if I'm gone, or how to basically setting up like a queue of requests, right? So like IT, they always have a queue or a ticketing system. This is kind of like a built-in system for the rest of the other executive assistants in our group. So I can build out another workflow for all of our team. So, and maybe it's like a non-priority item, or if I'm gone, my executives know to submit this into this queue, if you will. So that's really what I had to share today. There's some questions here.
That's awesome. I love it.
Ooh, adoption rate. Okay, so this is fairly new. So it's all testing, trial and error right now. So I think as I go through things and so I'm also just took on a new team. So I have a new director and his team is, gosh, 70 to 100 people. So as those requests come in, I'm just going to kind of do my due diligence and say, listen, this is kind of the process. You can see in my status, here's the little request form if you have anything for me, and then it would go there. So it's going to be a slow process, but I can definitely report back on, feedback and, if it works. But any new process is always like encouraging people to kind of follow that. And really, this is just going to help myself if I encourage people to use this.
Oh, so here I am saying that I like know Slack on my resume. Like, I guess I don't. Like, it's one thing like to send messages, but it's another like to follow this. I mean, it's
Yep.
super interesting to me, but and I wish I used Slack at work because this is like just candy to me. I love it. But yeah, it turns out I should probably take Slack off of my resume.
That's okay. The nice thing is too, and now I'm just kind of going off on just another thing I learned and added is just the what's it called? The templates and the canvases that you can build in. So, for example, I support John Francis. He's the chief data analytics officer. So I also built in like all his travel at a glance. So this is just built from a canvas. You can add a canvas, you can customize it. These are just different this is just another template I built in. And then what are the questions I have during our one-on-ones? So if I need to easily reference them, I can put them right there. But I think for him too, every time we have our one-on-ones, I'm prepared to kind of go through all of these tabs. What do we have going on? What other action items do I have? And then I can easily check the box once we go through, and then I can create my dues after that as well.
Shout out to World 50. I miss that group so much.
Mhm.
I have a
Yep,
quick
yep.
question. Hi. Thanks for this. It's amazing. We don't use Slack at my company. We use Teams. Since you have both and you're transitioning, were you able to do something like this in Teams?
Um, Specifically, what the workflow?
Yes. Or yes, and like, well, the requests, the meeting requests. So if somebody wants to meet with one of my, I see this as, I have a message in my Teams stating to send all meeting requests into my email because I
Yeah.
can't keep track of the Teams requests. They get lost. I use it for same day or urgent
Hmm.
issues. And I use Microsoft Planner, which is not a
Yep.
bad tool, but and I can move things from from Teams into Planner. Not always successfully. It's weird, but from Outlook to Planner, I can't. So I'm wondering if this might be the missing link for me into putting this into Planner for me, or just into a space where I can sort through meeting requests.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that you could do, only because it works like a form, however, it's embedded to Slack. So if because we're a Microsoft shop as well. So, and again, it's just kind of figuring out what works. I mean, the other option would be to have somebody fill out a Google form, but sometimes that's not always easy. Have you also embedded the app in your mail as well? So like here, you can send it to Slack or you can send it
No, we don't we
to
don't have access to that.
do you have access to Teams? Like,
Yes.
so you should be able to send, but then technically you'd be sending it to Teams like as I guess, creating like a task for yourself as well.
Heather asked, couldn't you use Power Automate? Ah,
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
other something else I could recommend. Courtney, you probably could speak more to that. I'm waiting for access to something else in Power Automate too. So
you cut out, Laura. Sorry. You're not muted. We still can't hear you. You can?
yeah, I can hear her.
Oh,
can you
sorry.
hear me,
I
Courtney?
don't know if everybody else can.
Now I
Yes, I can
can.
hear her.
Yeah,
Okay.
They're
sorry
all
about that.
nodding. Maybe because I stopped sharing, but for me, I think, and to your point too, Annie, would be having a full-on like meeting or ticketing system that goes in this queue. Is it meeting related? Is it in priority or is it not priority? What that looks like today, I don't know. I'm happy to keep playing around and report back. But to your point, yes, like a lot of our admins too say, hey, send meeting requests in email. Well, if it's a priority and sometimes you miss it because you're in another call or something else. Um,
Well, the
I,
priority ones, I tell them
yep,
specifically for same day and urgent
yep,
request. please, share it here.
Right,
But otherwise, anything that's, in advance through email. And
right.
then in regards to Power Automate, I just went through like a training of that, and I feel like this seems to be a little bit more intuitive and smoother, whereas the Power Automate, and I could be off because I haven't dived in personally. I've just watched the demo. It seems like it's more, I don't want to say coding bait, like it just seems like you have to really go in and be very specific about what you're asking for, whereas this was just click, 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 which is nice.
Mhm.
Um,
Might be other,
Oh,
it depends on your company too. I mean, I know GM restricts a lot, but if you search workflow within Teams, you might find some other apps that you can
I'm
layer on
doing
top
that
of
right now.
Teams.
I was
uh,
just like,
Yeah,
Hi,
that would
it's
just be
Danny.
because there are a lot. It's just
I have a
my IT team just
suggestion.
doesn't approve those.
Hi, guys. I have a suggestion. So I'm not sure if this applies, but I'm also on Microsoft,
yes.
and I've been struggling with Teams and Outlook and Copilot and all the things and trying to I need one-stop shop. And what I'm experimenting with right now is the to-do list in
Hmm.
Microsoft, which you can create folders and you can create timelines similar to what you were doing, timelines. I don't know about reporting, like you
Hmm.
were talking about the reporting, but what I found is that I can put everything in Teams and in Outlook into the to-do list. So I can create a task, I can separate it by my executives, I can prioritize, I can put everything in there, and for the Microsoft world, it's all in one place.
Mm.
So I don't know, Annie, if that's helpful for you, but I know for me, it's been helpful. The other great thing is when you're in Outlook, you can flag it and it automatically puts it in there. So I don't have to drag and
Yep.
drop. I don't have to do that. Same thing with Teams. If there's a specific note, because I get tons of notes from the executives I support. I love the at Danny is what I call it. I've got so many ats, it's ridiculous. So I can right click on that and I can just move it to the to-do list and prioritize it that way. So I'm not sure
Yep.
if that's helpful for you, Annie, but that's kind of a one-stop shop for the Microsoft world.
I'll explore it some more. I'm in there now, and so I actually categorize my emails by my managers. And so if there's a task in there that a meeting I have to schedule, I just categorize it as, John, so that I know I have to go in, and I can just sort by categories and then see what needs to be done. I then also put it in Microsoft Planner because I was sharing it with him. I was trying to start this, it's like a little bit of a test pilot where I'm sharing the Microsoft Planner with him so that it could be interactive, but he hasn't even
yeah.
touched it. So
Yeah,
it's like,
Planner, but we also use Planner, and I found the to-do list to be a little simpler, and you can also share there. So Planner to me has been a little clunky.
okay,
That's just my
no, no,
experience of it
that's great. But
because
I'm looking
I've
into do, and I see flagged emails. So all of these emails that I've flagged are the ones that are assigned to my managers or
yeah, it
categorized.
automatically puts them in there. You don't even have
I
to
know,
be
but
using
it's
it.
not
So
categorized in here. So all I see is 1,000 emails or 1,000, 1,000 emails uh, that
there's
are
definitely
not.
some pre-work that needs to happen. So you
Is
can,
there? All right, I'll take a look. Sorry,
yeah.
I don't want to hijack this, and
Take
hopefully
it.
this is helpful to others. But yeah, that's something to explore. Thank you, and I will explore the workflows in Teams as well. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Laura. Thanks, Danny, everyone for sharing, Annie. Yeah, it's super interesting. Like it's stressing me out already because I want to learn it all. And I'm like, oh, like, do I have time for another, like
I
to
know.
take on another? But no, like I, I hate when someone has something cool and I don't understand it. So I'm gonna have to get on. I get jealous like a kid. I'm like, no, I want that. So I'll have to do some research. Also, Power Automate. If there's anyone here that like uses that regularly, like I would love it if you would talk about it sometime. Maybe we can ping me like separately and we can schedule something. I would be so interested in seeing anything Power Automate. Um, so Ilka, made a suggestion. We were gonna potentially do like a comparison today of like Claude and Gemini, Perplexity, ChatGPT. Ilka made a great suggestion, like rather than me just like showing, what the difference, like how each of them reacts differently to the same prompt. Why is my voice so shaky? If we could, like, who uses Claude regularly? Who uses Gemini regularly? Maybe we could like someone that's like obsessed and married to Gemini um could like volunteer just to show like whatever a basic we can all agree on like a prompt or a prompt like several like prompts. I don't know, we'll think of something. But is there anyone that's like in love with what they use other than ChatGPT? Automate, I
Uh,
mean,
I,
go ahead.
I'm not in love with it, but I use Gemini in general.
Okay, okay. Um, so that's good. Thanks, Mayumi. What about anyone use Claude, Copilot?
Copilot is what we are allowed to use at Comcast.
Okay.
And it does okay. I mostly use it if I have to send a sensitive email, I use it to check myself to make sure that I'm not being passive aggressive or whatever in what I'm trying to convey. I just used it this morning
Yeah.
for that. It's like, help me be more concise, make sure that I'm being positive, that kind of thing. And it works pretty well for that. Most of the tools that I actually really love, I can't use at work. So ChatGPT, I use on my iPad that literally sits in front of me. I've got like 6, 7 screens that are in front of me. So I can do work, but not on my company computer.
Yeah.
I'm also using Grok, which I am really kind of loving. So
That's
um,
completely foreign to me. So I would, in
it's
fact,
it's very similar. The responses have been very similar. Um, I have done some reading about the different AI chatbots, and there has been some opinion written that some of the chatbots create a bias after you interact with them for so long because they want to make you happy and they want to please you. And I thought that was something that was really interesting, but I can see where that might happen. But my understanding is that Grok does not have those barriers and will hurt your feelings.
oh, that's interesting.
And the latest iteration of Grok you can actually talk to, and it will, just 1 second, let me see. You can ask it to have different voices. So, sorry, I'm trying to get to it.
No, it's super
To
interesting.
match the mood in your head.
So, yes. So you can ask it to be an assistant, a storyteller, a kid storyteller, uh, kid trivia game, conspiracy, not a therapist, not a doctor, unhinged. I actually was listening to something on YouTube where somebody was demoing the unhinged, and it was pretty funny. Um, so there's like all these different voices that you can ask it to respond to you in. So anyway,
I love it.
that's been my experience. And like I said, I'm just trying to use them all to figure out. And I feel like each one has its particular strength, and to figure out what those strengths are and how they can help me.
Yeah. Well, that's something I can commit to playing with for sure, because that
I just
sounds super
downloaded it.
exciting to me. Power Automate's probably going to be on the back burner for a few weeks, but yeah, now I want to try Grok. So thanks.
I was just going to piggyback off of Carla. Yeah, and I just downloaded Grok, so that'll be a new fun tool to play with. Just like Carla, we're like a Microsoft shop, and we focus on Copilot here, but we also, some of us also have ChatGPT. And what I've done is I've actually, in the same vein where I'm trying to make sure that it sounds professional and there's no tone to it, I will ask Copilot to draft to take my copy and draft a version of that, and then I'll actually take it and put it into, I'll take my first prompt and put it into ChatGPT, and I will compare the two. And I have found ChatGPT to be a little bit better. There have been times when I have done that and Copilot will just repeat what I said. I'm like, well, okay, thanks, I'm flattered, but I was asking for some help, and then ChatGPT gives me, a revision, and it's better. And so that's what I found. Copilot's not bad, but it's not there. And we had a promptathon, and I might have mentioned this in the last call. We had a promptathon here, and the moderator was this company based in Europe. And I asked about Copilot being able to create PowerPoint presentations, and we got into Gamma and all of that. But one thing he said, he felt in discussions with Microsoft at this convention conference, he felt that Microsoft was essentially using all their users as beta testers. So we're all just, they're learning from us, because he said, I don't think that they have a great budget for AI. He goes, and I think they're essentially using all their users as beta testers, which I have felt in the last few years has been the case, because, suddenly I'm being told you can't add an attachment to a meeting invite because it's messing with your calendar. And I'm like, well, I've been doing it for years. Why can't I? Well, we changed something and it's affecting this now, so just stop doing it. And I'm like, so we have to adjust or adapt to your inadequacies. Like it doesn't make sense, but they don't really test things, it seems. And so anyway, it's interesting, ever evolving. That's just my 2 cents.
I have a
QA
question.
technicians are very expensive.
Yeah, I totally agree on the Copilot. Although I'm very new, I started using it, but when Copilot rewrites a sentence, it's very simple. And I use Gemini in general, but they will give much more context. Or I don't know about the ChatGPT. Gemini gives a couple of versions for me and gives me the reason. Version 1 is more focused on the warmer tone. Version 2 is more professional. Version 3 is blah, blah, blah. And then let me choose when I dump some, draft. So that's something I like. I'm very curious if what is the strength of the Copilot if anyone uses both platform. That my organization is kind of allowing to use external one, but of course no sensitive information. Now, of course, like if you use a Copilot, it's inside of the firewall, it's safe. But other than that, what is the advantage? What Copilot is better? Or
I think for Copilot, I think if you have the Copilot license, which means that it's embedded into your Microsoft Suite apps, so it's always you'll see the Copilot icon in Word, PowerPoint, Excel, etc. If you have that, it actually is able to integrate between Teams and Outlook and whatnot. And so when you're responding to an email and you ask them to draft a response, or take your email and polish it up, it will actually look through the chain of email in that email, so it will pick up the context of everything, and it will help with the response. That is one of the advantages I've seen in terms of having Copilot built into Microsoft. I don't know if anybody here has Microsoft, but is able to embed another AI tool within Microsoft. I
It's
find that they're all separate, right? I think,
I actually it's not like it's a kind of AI tool. I use Grammarly. So
yeah.
when the Copilot is running, actually the performance of the Grammarly slowed down a little bit because they are both trying to edit my sentences as I write. But what I find is Copilot is more context based, and Grammarly so after Copilot or even Gemini change my sentences, Grammarly will jump on to make it shorter. So Grammarly is very good thing, and they can run it in any apps. It can be on the Google platform, or you can download the desktop app, and it would, goes to the Outlook. Um, Grammar is very smart in a way, saying the same things in a shorter sentence. So that's part I really like, and you can actually learn both together.
I know that, I don't know about other people, but I think some other folks have companies that work for companies who are very strict. And I'm not allowed to download things unless it's offered up within our tools. And so that's why I was curious. I didn't know if you're able to, I didn't know that if it was integrated, like Copilot is up at the top in Microsoft Outlook, let's say. Is Grammarly also up there now that you've downloaded it? Is it automatic?
So Grammarly, I'm at the HP. Grammarly is allowed by the HP, but because it is a desktop app, uh, so there's a desktop version and cloud version. Grammarly, once you sign up, will give you both access. So the desktop app will just run as an app. It's not like a completely integrated, but while I'm doing anything with the Outlook or Microsoft platform, Grammarly is always there, and then including the chat or anything. Like as long as I have an app open, it's just like keep doing how do you say the sentence rewrite. And because it is a desktop app, nothing is sent to the cloud.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Cool.
Thanks, guys. I'm like updating this thing I told you guys to bookmark that hadn't been updated today. So I'm just like throwing things on there. I added the link. Thanks, who put that? Lynn-Elise. Thank you for adding that. I put that on this doc. I'll link to it again in case you guys weren't here last week. Don't expect anything amazing on this. I'll probably like update it as we go each meeting, as opposed to like doing pre-work of any kind. But and if you guys have any like classes that you've taken, anything like that's been useful, I'm happy to throw that on here too. What else do we have today? Anyone?
I did some, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, okay. I did some playing around with a website called easygen.io. So capital EASY, capital GEN.io. And it creates LinkedIn posts, essentially like it's tailored for LinkedIn. So I have to do the LinkedIn posts for our company. And so as I was playing around with it, um, between chat and EasyGen, I came back to chat and I was like, okay, that's good. What EasyGen does is good, but why wouldn't I just do it here in chat? Like, so anyways, chat answered me and said, so you use EasyGen.io if you want high quality LinkedIn ready posts instantly, and then use ChatGPT if you need more brainstorming, deeper research, or highly customized content. Um, and then it says, yeah, so you can take your content calendar and just plug it into EasyGen.io and it'll make your posts for you. And then you just have to quickly edit them. And then you can also jump over then to Gamma AI and it'll make the carousels for it.
Love that.
I've just done really surface level, but at the end of kind of going back and forth between the three, sorry, I'm just scrolling down in this chat oh yeah, I just said back to chat. I said overall, I think I would just prefer working here in chat. And now maybe this goes to the bias that chat makes for you too. But so chat says, yes, that makes total sense. Chat gives you more flexibility to refine ideas, tweak the tone, and make sure everything aligns with your company voice before finalizing content. So, anyways, I just thought if you guys have to do any LinkedIn posts or content, that might be a good one to check out. Easy Gen.
Thanks. I added that to the doc. Thanks for that.
I can piggyback on that one too.
Hop on.
So just what I've been using. So usually my content creation, because it's been based on an author. So I'm using a custom GPT to get the material. And then I pop over to TypeGrow, TYPEGROW, and it's a LinkedIn text formatter. It's going to let you do bold. It's going to let you do italicize. It makes it all sorts of pretty and has that functionality that you can't just do when you're on LinkedIn. So it gives it that other zhuzh, little whatever. And then for carousel, I'm using Carousel Maker, which is carouselmaker.co//en. And I've had really, really good success with that. And it comes up really clean and clear. I have not used the paid version of either of these things. And it seems a little bit cumbersome to have things in different places, but I like exploring tools and using different things in different places just because I don't know, because that's who I am. So those are what's helping me do LinkedIn social media stuff for my people.
Thanks. Molly, you feel like doing a quick demo? Not to put you on the spot, but what was that? The shortener, the thing that you love that you're obsessed with. The text where you type.
Oh, my text expanders?
Yeah. Do you want to show us that? I think people would like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Right.
I just was not prepared.
Yeah, beef text. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I love beef text. So yeah, Susie, it is beef text. So for anybody who doesn't know what text expanders are, they've been around for a really long time. What you want to do is think of it, it's not necessarily AI, it's text only. So you don't have to worry about having those conflicts of, IT and such. Anytime that you can copy and paste something, you can use a text expander. I like beef text just because, again, I've just been using it for a couple of years and it makes everything really easy. You do, download like an installer thing, and I keep it at the bottom of my screen. So things like when I get, hold on, I was not prepared for this, but so give me a second.
Sorry.
Anyway, it just makes everything go really fast. So like for those of us who have done templates or quick parts, smart parts, and Outlook, it's kind of like it's exactly those things, but it's just in one place. So I can use it across different things, right? So I have all my text expanders in one place at one time. I could share my document.
Okay, 3 p.m. I'm just saying, like, no one's like aggressive, but like 3 p.m.
Hold on. Oh, I don't have it in here.
These are things.
I have a document that I use, but let's see. Okay, let me.
Molly, while you're pulling that up, can I just ask a question about the previous conversation?
Yeah.
Somebody had mentioned it sounded like carousel, like about the LinkedIn post. I don't even know what that is.
A carousel it's in marketing. It's a image that scrolls around.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So that's what that is. Yeah, of course. Oh. Yeah. Can I do this some other time? It's not
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I was just being lazy.
The only other thing that I've been geeking out on this week is that NotebookLM, which I love dearly.
Yes, we talked about that last week.
Well, did you see what they released? There's a new
No.
feature.
What is it?
A mind map. Boom. It's amazing. I've been mind mapping everything I can think of just to test it out.
What's a
Know
mind
what a
map?
mind map is.
Yes, I second that. Notebook LM has a mind map, feature. I was just exploring that today. Jacqueline here. Hi, everybody. Sorry to just jump in,
No,
but it's amazing feature. Yeah.
So I could show you
yes, please.
this. This I can show because I just had this up. Sharing. Let me share my screen.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay. Can you see my screen or am I looking at myself?
Yeah, we're seeing it.
Oh,
Good.
jeepers
Your screen.
creepers.
Oh.
Sorry, people. I'm just such a mess today. Okay, here, I'm going to bring the screen down here. You looking at my screen now?
No, we're looking at you.
Still? Nobody wants to do that. I don't want to do that. Jeez, Molly, get a grip. Okay.
Sense of humor required.
Yeah.
Always.
Now it's
We got it now.
Okay, so that's the carousel thing. Let me go to Notebook. Notebook LM. Okay. So Notebook LM, what I have been doing with a lot with it is it's a great workplace to add documents. You can add links. You can add pretty much anything. It takes all different types of sources. So you can upload from your Google Drive links. You can copy and paste things into here. And basically they become your source files. It's almost like compiling all your research in one place at one time. It's very project based. So this one,
Like a custom GPT in a sense.
it kind of sort of, it's got different functionality. This is really like a research assistant kind of thing, and it combines everything, and it just you could definitely do it in a custom GPT. Absolutely. You could do it in a lot of things. But I just like how it gives me all my sources and organizes it really nicely. So the first thing I usually do is I will, this is a great article too. I'll have to drop that in. It's a new study that was released about how to have great company admin cultures. It was released in February. But so anyway, I was reading that. It produces a beautiful summary right here. And then you can add notes to it. You can save the note. This right here, if you click on audio overview, it's going to take a few minutes, but this is going to give you a summary, and it's going to be in a podcast form with like different voices, which I just love because it cuts down my reading time. It's engaging to listen to. And you can take that and put it in an RSS feed for your leader if you want to like build them a playlist or something for like their workout and their stuff that they listen to. That's one of my little special things that I do for my people usually, just to make them feel special. But this, when you click mind map right here, this is this new feature I was telling you about. When you click mind map, it's going to, it's clicking me a new one. Okay, here we go. So it's going to tell me all about the article. I saw you, Annie. Your jaw just dropped. I saw that. Twitter. Anyway, so this
That looks amazing. I was expecting like, just, like bullet points.
No, look, and it's
look at
interactive. It's interactive too. And like it expands on things. I mean, think about, so if you think about it, right? If you're planning something, so this is my use case where I'm going with it. So I'm planning a huge to do or a big event, and I'm going to drop in all of my sources, all of my information, and then I'm going to say, oh my gosh, help me organize this so that I can visualize it and see what's happening. Then I would click mind map it, and it would be, so usually sometimes when I do like event planning, then each one of these things would be delegated to a different person. That's just typically how I've done it in the past, or you can do it. But it's another way of looking at it. This got done. So
okay, so today we're going deep.
I don't know if you can hear it.
It's in every successful company, but sometimes doesn't get the spotlight.
You're talking about administrative professionals, right?
Absolutely. The backbone of so many organizations. And we've got this fascinating research that dives into.
How cool is that? I love that.
Very cool.
Yeah. And like I said, I'll take reading and articles and everything from my leader, put them in here and create like a playlist. And they're like, oh my gosh, you saved me so much time. I listened to all my 3 hours of reading on my commute or when I was working out. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm great. So it's just like one of those little like high touch, you want to polish it kind of, get creative and save them, maximizing their time and their number one resource.
Right.
So that's
I'm a
wonderful.
visual person, so that to me, that's why my jaw dropped. I'm like, ooh.
Love a good
When
mind
I
map.
see it like that, it's like, it's just, yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So that's all I got to share this week. That's what I've been geeking out on.
Love it.
Hey,
Thank you.
Courtney, were you going to show us your glasses?
Oh,
Oh,
I was.
Yes.
I'll show you. Molly, you weren't here last week.
no.
I will show them next week. I left them at home. But I got
Oh,
those new Ray-Ban smart glasses. So like I went scuba diving for the first time over the weekend, and well, they're not underwater. Let me take that back. But like while we were on the boat, like I'm just like going like this and taking pictures and videos. It's awesome. But also when you get a phone call comes in right here, so no one else hears it, but you do. I don't know what my voice is doing. Besides that, it will play. Who's typing? Is someone typing on my dock right now? I don't understand how that works on Google Docs.
I think you shared it. So
What
if you
does that mean,
shared it,
anonymous gopher? What just popped up? Anonymous pumpkin. Who's messing with me right now? Anonymous beaver. I hate you, Molly. Is it
I
Molly?
don't even think Molly's there.
Anonymous frog. I don't know what's happening, but whatever. Anyway, my ADD, I just took another Adderall. I can't look at that screen right now. Back to the glasses. They're just cool. It plays music, whatever. Why are there what's happening? I feel like I'm on acid right now. What's happening? Molly, was that you?
What? What I did?
Never mind.
I'm gonna go in here. I don't.
Something's happening on that doc that I gave you the link to. It keeps saying anonymous pumpkin, anonymous frog, anonymous, like all these.
Oh, that's when other people are in it.
Yeah,
That's just when
I
other
see them
people
at
are
the top.
Oh, I've never seen that before. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's normal for a Google Doc when you share it. If the person isn't necessarily like logged into their Google account.
Thanks.
Got it.
You're welcome.
Courtney, somebody asked if you returned your robo dog.
Oh yeah, for $1,800. You bet I did. That waste of money, that Amazon robot dog. It didn't do anything. It didn't even vacuum for $1,800. Sorry, I don't need Alexa on.
What did it do?
It was Alexa on wheels. That's it. I've got Alexa in like my bedroom, my living room. Like I love to listen to she wakes me up, whatever, but all it was Alexa on wheels. I was like, do something. It was the biggest waste of money. I
could have walked your dog at least.
Yeah, let my dog out. Oh, that reminds me. God damn it. Guys, 1 second. I need to book my rover. Molly, anyone jump in.
Yeah.
My dog has to pee.
Actually, I'm seeing something that Jacqueline put in, create your first notebook. NotebookLM. Yeah, I would love to do that. My company just blocks all of that. So, but we're looking at other tools. We're looking at platforms. I've created a subcommittee, and there's 4 of us who are pretty tech savvy at my company on the admin team, and we are interviewing or we're getting demos from a few different platforms. So we just met with VimCal, and we're gonna meet with. We reached out to ClickUp. Yeah, and then Execify is the next one, but I had to put a pause on it because I was getting questioned, who's sponsoring this, who's paying for this, what are you doing? And I'm like, we're just exploring. So we're just going to see, because we have to see what's out there and then see what we have in-house that's comparable. But we are, there's just so much out there, and it's
Annie, you have ChatGPT at work though, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so when you go into Explore GPTs, type in mind map. There's like 20 different ones, and I've used them before. and they'll populate it and you can download it in like a PDF or in a Word doc.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one way around that.
Okay. We'll see. My company
I don't
always
know how you
finds a
work
way.
on that then.
That's all I'm gonna say. Every time you think, ooh, no. But you know, we try to do the best we can. And we also feel that it feels like, you know, I'm working with somebody in HR was now designated as she's going to be the head of AI solutions, and she's working with the different groups, and we're going to work together to create a learning path in our learning center, in-house learning center, and help the EAs, because there's nothing dedicated to EAs. We have things dedicated to, you know, revenue generating departments, but not so much us. So we're working to kind of bring that to the forefront for us. So, but yeah, so this is great. I would love to check out NotebookLM. I actually may reach out to the vendor and do a demo.
Google.
What's that?
No, does anyone that
Google
has,
is the vendor.
Oh, it is? Then, well,
yeah, good luck getting a demo with NotebookLM, but that's
well,
awesome.
you know what? The problem with that is that we're a Microsoft shop, and we are able, I think last year we were able to access some Google Drives, not all. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that may not fly. Okay.
This is not related. Does anyone with a dog who doesn't work from home, does your dog go all day without going for a walk while you're at work? Anyone? No, you have to have a dog walk. You have to have someone come once a day, twice a day. What do you do?
Depends on how long. So
8 hours.
Once a day.
yeah, 8 hours once a
Once.
day. But if I
Okay.
got to stay till like 7 p.m., that's a twice a day.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Um, well, we've talked about so much, guys.
Good.
Thanks for everyone jumping in. Once a day, yeah. I was paying for twice a day, and I'm like, it adds up. Like, I don't even pay for that for food for myself. Like, anyway,
I'm looking at all these mind maps now, Molly.
I know,
just
I
went
can't
to
wait. I'm like,
mind
hey,
map
let's all-
generator, Mappa GPT, diagrams, draw.io.
Lot you can do.
How about for next week, we play with a mind map and come ready. We'll pick 5 randoms to share their screen and we'll look at mind maps
Well, I
together.
can tell you right now, I just got shut down. I just clicked on the first one. Yeah, mind map generator, GPT not found, or insufficient permissions.
Bummer. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play with it. I'm excited.
Hmm.
And Grok.
Rock is good times. The other thing that and I wrote about it last week on LinkedIn, just in case anybody missed it, is Miko. It's just been a lifesaver in my inbox. I've got all newsletters going there, and I can triage them and look at them without feeling overwhelmed on my inbox. So that's another one that I highly recommend. And a use case for that, I'm aggregating internal newsletter, employee engagement, snippets, ideas, quotes, things like that. And then also my leader's comms, things that he wants to read. MECO. I think I put a link to it in my LinkedIn I think I wrote about that like last week.
Also, when Molly was sharing her screen, did anyone ignore her at first and just to zoom in on her bookmark tabs to see what tools she has that I don't?
Well, and you know what's really funny is that's not where I keep any of them.
Oh, I'm like, what does she have that I don't know about?
Yeah, no, that's like, actually no, Miko's up there, but like there's really nothing there. I keep all those in a folder called AI for Exec Admin.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, that's so funny, you little snooper duper. That would actually be a fun game. Like take a screenshot just of your thing and then try to figure out whose it is, like for like team engagement for remote teams. Like when we've done name that desk, we have people take a picture of your workstation and send it. I posted that, but that could be a fun one too.
That is funny.
That's a really good idea. I'm gonna write that
I
down.
know.
Name that toolbar.
That's so funny.
That is funny.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, I thank you for coming. I will cut this one short because I don't have anything to fill the last 5.
Does
That's it.
anybody else have anything to share that they might have?
Yes, please.
Questions, comments?
Someone used something cool.
I used your ChatGPT this week, Courtney, to try to come up with some KPIs. So I work with engineers. Everyone's an engineer except for me. And so we were leading the senior leadership team, and everyone's like, "You don't even have any KPIs." And I'm inside, like, I don't really know what they are. Like, I don't really get it. It's like, so, anyways, yeah, I used your chat and I came up with a bunch of different, like, I had it condense it into a paragraph, and I shared that with 2 of the senior engineers to get their feedback on how they felt about it. And then the chat also took it and broke it into a table and action steps. And so, yeah, thanks for
To
that.
put it into a
See,
mind map
Courtney?
too.
Love that.
You
Yay.
can,
Sorry,
you can
Mom.
mind map it too.
Yeah, I added that to the resources list. I put eawiz.com coolest ChatGPT ever, but I'm biased. Anyone else use anything cool? Anything new?
Marlene said overload on all of the available options of things. Yeah, there is. There's so much out there. And it's just, you have to try and, find the right fit. So that's why talking about these with each other is helpful because it's kind of summarizing the overall features
For
of
sure.
of these platforms.
I was just gonna say, I think after talking about NotebookLM and a mind map feature, that sparks my juices to maybe go play with it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna do that and Grok, like I said, but this new mind map has me excited. I love anything like Gamma. I'm obsessed with. How many times a day do I say obsessed? But I love Gamma. Like it's so great. Anytime I have to um do any kind of deck for anything, it's Gamma always.
I introduced it to our group, and one of the assistants in Germany showed us this morning how she said, we're going to be celebrating Ramadan and Eid, and she said, so I asked it to I went into Gamma and asked it to just put together a presentation just telling everybody about the holidays, and it did this really nice 8 slides, images, everything. It was fantastic. And then we did it a real-time test to see if Copilot would do it, and it did. And the only thing is Copilot put it into it created slides with just text, but you could go into each slide, click on designer, and it gave you options, and all you had to do was click on the design you wanted, and it put it into the slide. And so it still cuts back on time for you to actually create a presentation. But it was interesting. We were like playing around with workarounds to because we can't use Gamma here. We can't put our company information into that.
Right.
Obviously.
What about Geraldine's asking if anyone uses the AI companion in Zoom meetings? I've tried it and
Not.
security settings don't let me. It's all useless for me, but I'd love to hear if it does, like if anyone does have the ability to use that.
Let's see. It says I just tried. I'm just clicking on it because I'm using my work computer, so I want to see what the restrictions are. It says request access for AI companion. Your AI companion. Hold on, it went
I
away.
just got the request.
We just got notified.
But I hit yes.
Okay. So now this meeting is being transcribed for AI companion.
Imagine
Further up in the chat, it says Rosalie's note taker Otter AI, and it has like a summary of the meeting from Otter AI.
Yeah, my circle back is in there too, and I always get the recording and the transcript action items afterwards.
Yeah, I can't remember who, but I get somebody's notes after these meetings. I don't know if it's you, Courtney, if it comes somebody, I get somebody's and I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I just opened that link there from the Otter AI summary and it's completely there, transcribed.
Let's see. Yeah. I just clicked on Catch Me Up and now it's thinking, it's analyzing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I clicked on what topics have been discussed and it just does highlights of,
Why don't I use this, by the way?
I think it's new. That's why I was asking if anyone.
Yeah, I don't think this has been up for, I don't think this has been available for very long.
They've been Zoom or Otter. Which one's Zoom or Otter?
The AI companion on Zoom.
I think that's new. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I think this is relatively new.
I saw it in a newsletter.
Yeah, what topics have been discussed? Is it gonna like list like everything we talked about?
Yeah, I came up with 4 when I clicked on what topics have been discussed. Use of AI tools, the process of receiving meeting transcripts, notification.
I love your sweater.
Transcription services, the sharing of meeting notes among participants. Those are the 4 that came up.
Thanks.
I just said Catch Me Up and it just says the team discusses various AI transcription and note-taking tools with and again noting with Carmel Hoyer noting Rosalie's Otter AI note taker provides meeting summaries while Molly confirms she receives recordings and transcripts with action items after meetings. Annie mentions receiving meeting notes from someone but is unsure who sends them. Okay, well,
Courtney did nothing.
now I'm all caught up.
Thanks.
Where do you guys see that? Because I'm not able to pull it.
Are you in Zoom? So just hover over the bar on the bottom where it shows your reactions and you can share your screen and access your apps and, leave the meetings, just the bar at the bottom and it says AI companion. You probably have the updated version of Zoom installed.
And then click on it again because maybe it had to ask for permission from Courtney and maybe she already gave it to you, but then click on it again and a panel opens up on the right.
All it says for me when I click on it, it says AI companion features have been enabled in this meeting. Below you can see the content, meeting questions or meeting summary. But when I try to click on those, there's just a little button that says learn more, but it doesn't take me to any of those.
And you clicked on AI companion again on that button?
Yeah.
Maybe your organization?
Maybe.
This is my personal laptop.
Oh.
My husband put restrictions.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll have to look in.
Conveniently filled in the last 5 minutes and more. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's awesome.
Okay, I put the link to the my little Kari, it's from Amazon. But wow, such a hit. It was very, very cheap and I got it in a bunch of colors. So now I've been recording these meetings and uploading them to YouTube, AI for Admins. So watch, it's going to be like the same blouse every other video. It's going to be a different color blouse. I just told them myself. But anyway, they're super cheap and they're fine to get out of the dryer. So
very nice.
I don't know.
I was going to ask one thing from Molly. You mentioned a newsletter. Are there any newsletters that you can share with us that you think would be helpful?
Oh, I got 1,001 of those.
Okay, perfect. Maybe you can do that next week.
I mean, I got like 97 going right now.
Okay.
I'd be happy to compile maybe like a top 10.
That would be fantastic.
Awesome.
Thanks. Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
guys.
Ridiculous.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Such fun. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Okay.
Hey, guys.